How do you read Aaron Rodgers not showing up today? How do you read it?
I mean, I think it would have been an enormous surprise if he had shown up. And the main reason why is that this is about money. Then, like if $500,000 for showing up for the rest of the offseason program wasn't going to motivate him to show up, then why would $93,000 for showing up to minicamp motivate him? That's the way I look at it anyway. And we'll see whether or not the Packers decide to levy that fine. But I think it just sort of means we're where we have been for a few months now. And, the Packers have obviously tried to pull every lever to get him back in. And, I think a huge part of the problem remains kind of a divide philosophically on how the team's being built and then the communication over the Jordan Love thing a year ago. So I think it remains a very, very unpredictable thing. But I don't think the minicamp was ever more than a checkpoint in this whole thing, Rich. I think when the rubber meets the road is and really has been the whole time the start of training camp.
Are they talking to each other? Best you can tell? Do you know?
I know the Packers have made efforts, and I know the Packers have made multiple trips to California to meet with them. I don't know how much direct communication there's been over the last few weeks. And I'll give the Packers credit for this. And I can give you some insight in my own reporting. I think the Packers have made an effort not to sort of work the back rooms, so to speak, on this. And, what Mark Murphy did on the team website, borderline unprecedented. I don't know if I've ever seen a team use its website that way before, the other day. And then, if you want to add on to that, my experience was, they've actually asked me to go on the record in a couple different circumstances because, they don't want to be saying anything in the background and sort of working that part of the game. They want to be transparent about it. I think that's a message to Aaron, which is, we're going to try to be as principled as we can be about this. And when we talk about you, we're going to do it publicly. We're not going to be trying anything behind your back or anything like that. So the Packers are doing, I think, everything that they can to try to get him back on board. I think the trouble is how much can they really show him at this point, how things are going to be different, because we're obviously at a point in the calendar now where we're well past the end of free agency. Julio Jones has now been traded. The draft was a month ago. I don't know what else you can do to show Aaron Rodgers that you're going to build the team any differently than you have for the last 30 years.
Well, and that's part of the problem, Albert, is that we've got a situation that is now let's do the right math here, 14, 15 months old that you can't change. And then you have, as you pointed out, all the team building scenarios that could prove to Aaron Rodgers that we hear you, and that the only thing that could be, used as a public apology without saying I'm sorry about 15 months ago would be either to trade the guy in Jordan Love or give Rodgers a contract that means Jordan Love will not get on the field in time for them to properly evaluate him for a fifth-year option. And the question is would that even satisfy Aaron Rodgers at that point in time? Have I kind of captured it, or what? Here, tell me if I'm missing.
I can tell you, they've offered him contracts, and so wow. I think you're right on to think about the guaranteed money, and I think that that's what everybody needs to pay closer attention to. We can throw around big numbers all we want. Whatever number they're going to give Aaron Rodgers is going to be a big one. I think the key is, how do you prove to him you're going to be our quarterback for the next 3 years? That would require, by the way, Rich, the Packers doing something else they generally don't do. If you look at the Packers' big contracts, normally they have enormous signing bonuses and they don't guarantee future years. So they would have to break the way they do business there, too, to really show Aaron Rodgers, we're locking into you for the next 2 or 3 years. And 3 years would be, getting to the end of Jordan Love's rookie contract, where, you'd have to be beyond the past where you'd make a decision on his fifth-year option. So, I think that there's some stuff that they can do contractually that would definitely, signal to Aaron Rodgers he's the guy going forward. But I can tell you that they've already put stuff in front of him and said, we're willing to give you a new contract, and that hasn't really moved all that much.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.